Jason Scar. Chapter number 3 was all about atoms, how molecules are made from an atom. In this particular chapter, we will understand what is this atom. We know oxygen and etc. We consider them to be an atom. If O2 is there, then we call them molecules. But what is the basic building block of an atom? If you are, I am human being, so that is why I will say common characteristics: 2 hands, 2 legs, okay, 1 head, this kind of characteristics of human. So what is the characteristics of atom? What are the constituents inside it? So let's just understand that. In chapter 3 we have learned that atoms and molecules are the fundamental building block of matter. The existence of a different kind of matter is due to different atoms constituting them. Now the question arises, what makes the atom of one element different from the atom of another element? If oxygen is also an atom, nitrogen is also an atom, carbon is also an atom, then how can I say that this carbon and nitrogen are two different things? Like if in your class 2 persons, we all are human beings, we belong to same area, then there is a caste and subcaste and religion. So according to that, there is various kind of classification. There is an entire hierarchy based on them. Okay, so now we are saying we know how matter is made in first chapter. Then we understood different part, how they mix and match. In third chapter we understand there is a molecules which continuously repeat themselves and make matter. So now these molecules are made from atom. Then what this atom constituent? How two atoms are different? So what makes the atom of one element different from the another element? Are atoms really divisible as proposed by Dalton, or are there smaller constituents of inside the atom? We shall find out answer to this question in this particular chapter. We will learn about subatomic particles and various models that have been proposed to explain how these particles are arranged within the atom. A major challenge before scientists at the end of 19th century was to reveal the structure of an atom as well as explain its important properties. The elucidation of the structure of atom is based on a series of experiments. One of the first indication that atoms are not divisible comes from studying the static electricity and the condition under which electricity is conducted by different substances. Okay, so Dalton was the first scientist. He said that atoms are the smallest part of matter which cannot be divided further. Okay, so there are number of experiments carried out and people wanted to know that is it possible for us to divide this atom into another parts. Charged particles in matter. For understanding the nature of charged particle in matter, let us carry out the following activity. Comb your dry hair. Thus the comb then attract small piece of paper. Rub the glass rod with a silk cloth and bring rod near the inflated balloon. Observe what happens. Okay. So both these cases, first activity is very easy, you can perform. You can have a plastic comb. Okay, then you bring small piece of paper near it, it won't attract. But when you rub your dry hair, not oily hair, dry hair, with this particular comb and then you put paper pieces near that, it will attract it. That means something which is in this plastic comb is going to change because of rubbing it with the another thing. From this activity, we can conclude that rubbing two objects together, they become electrically charged. Where does this charge came from? This question can be answered by knowing that atom is divisible and it consists of charged particles. Many scientists contributed in revealing the presence of charged particle in atom. It was known by 1900 century that atom was not simply divisible particle but contained at least one subatomic particle, the electron, identified by J.J. Thomson. Even before this, electron was identified. E. Goldstein in 1886 discovered presence of new radiation in gas discharge and called them canal rays. These rays were positively charged radiation, which ultimately led to discovery of another subatomic particle. This subatomic particle had a charge equal to magnitude opposite and sign of electron. Its mass was approximately 2000 times as the mass of electron. It was given the name of proton. In general, electron is represented by E minus, while proton is represented by P plus. The mass of proton is taken as a 1 unit and its charge plus 1. Mass of electron is considered to be negligible and its charge is minus 1. It seemed highly likely that atom was composed of proton and electrons, mutually balancing their charge. It also appeared that proton were in interior of atom, for whereas electron cloud easily be built of but not protons. Now the big question was, what sort of structure did this particle of atom form? We will find answer to this question below. Okay, so we understood that scientists wanted to know what kind of further subatomic particles are there. So they tried to see, this kind of experiment led that something which can be taken out or peel off from the atom, this particular particle which is called electron, which was discovered by J.J. Thomson in earlier time. Okay, then after they also E. Goldstein helped in finding particle which is called proton. Proton has a 2000 time, actually it is 1938 time mass of the electron. This particle has a charge plus 1 while electron has a charge minus 1. There is another particle also which is called neutrons, which are chargeless particles. From now onwards we will say neutron, you will understand there is a charge is equal to 0 if electron, that means negative charge, and if proton, that is equal to positive charge. If equal number of positive and negative charge meets together, then total charge would be 0, just like we have explained in molecules formation. Okay, so the thing is neutrons are always there, otherwise these two charges attract each other and cancel each other's effect, but its effect can be seen. So now let's just understand the structure of atom. We have learnt Dalton's atomic theory in chapter 3, which suggested that atoms was divisible, indeed indestructible. That means we cannot divide atoms, and atom is the smallest part. We cannot destruct it, we cannot take out parts of it. But the discovery of two fundamental particles inside the atom led to failure of this aspect of Dalton's atomic theory. It was then considered necessary to know how electrons and protons are arranged within an atom. For explaining this, many scientists proposed various atomic models. J.J. Thomson was the first one to propose model for the structure of an atom. So this particular structure is very interesting. Like J.J. Thomson, take example of watermelon. He considered like this. There is an outer layer which is of green color, there is an inner layer which is of red color, and there is a small dot which are the seeds of it. So he compared atomic model with it. We will see what are the benefit and what are the drawback of this particular model. Thomson proposed the model of an atom similar to that of a Christmas pudding. The electron in a sphere or a sphere of positive charge were like a currants, that means dry fruit. Basically, watermelon is a better example for us because we don't know what is pudding. Pudding ને તમે ખીર સાથે replace કરી શકો, resemble કરી શકો. Okay. In spherical Christmas pudding, we can also think of a watermelon. Positively charge in an atom is spread all over like red edible part. The watermelon, while the electrons are studded in the positively charged sphere like seeds of watermelon. Okay, so what he considered? He considered this to be a watermelon. So entire portion is positively charged while electrons are just studded over there inside. Okay, rest all part is positively charged. He gave this particular model. Thomson proposed that an atom consists of positively charged sphere and electrons are embedded on it. That means the entire sphere is positively charged and electrons are studded inside. The negative and positive charge are equal in magnitude, so atom as a whole is electrically neutral. That is true. One or another, anything which we can see around us are electrically neutral. Even human body is also electrically neutral. That means same number of positive and negative charges are present. Although Thomson's model explained that atoms are electrically neutral, the result of experiment carried out by other scientists could not be explained by this model, as we will see below. So what is the problem? Problem is that if positive charge is this much, negative charges are this much, that means electron is the smaller particle. That means electron is a bigger particle than the positive particle. But that is not the case. Proton has a heavier weight than the electron's weight. So this kind of structure was not even possible. આને તુક્કો પણ ના કહેવાય, તુક્કાથી પણ ગયું ગુજરું. This cannot be the case. But એક ખબર પડી કે આવી રીતે particles તો હશે જ નહીં. Therefore there was a scientist who is named as Rutherford. So Rutherford gave an structure of atom very sufficiently. Ernest Rutherford was interested in knowing how the electrons are arranged within the atom. Rutherford designed an experiment for this. In this experiment, fast moving alpha particles were made to fall on a thin gold foil. So what he does? Fast moving alpha particles. Try to understand this particular is a sign of alpha particles. So alpha particle is nothing but helium. Okay, because it is a second element, slightly heavier than the hydrogen. Okay, so these particular particle, he made this particle to fall on what? Gold foil. Gold foil એટલે મિઠાઈ ઉપર જે સોનાની બરફ હોય ને એટલી પતલી foil ઉપર. So he made this highly energetic alpha particle fall onto gold foil. So what is going to happen? Gold ની અંદર goldના atoms હોય like this. Okay, so when this alpha particle hit this gold foil, so what should be happen? Because it is a very tiny one, so particles were passing through it like this, passing through it. But one or two out of 1,000 was able to rebound. That means તમે ક્યારે ક્યાંય અથડાઈને પાછા ક્યારે આવું? હું અહીંયા દરવાજા સાથે ભટકાઉં, એકદમ સ્પીડ સાથે જઈ ભટકાઉં તો પાછી આવીશ, બરાબર? પણ જો આ કંઈક શું કે આરપાર જવાય એવું હોય તો અહીંયા બધેથી પાર્ટિકલ્સ એવી રીતે પાસ થયા. એકાદ બે પાર્ટિકલ્સ એવા હતા કે જે કોઈ એટમ સાથે ભટકાય અને આવી રીતે થોડોક એવો પાથ ચેન્જ થયો. જેમ કે આપણે દોડતા હોઈએ રસ્તામાં સાઈડમાં કંઈક આવે તો સેજ એક એવા આપણી જગ્યાએથી થોડાક આગળ પાછળ થઈ જઈએ. ઓકે, Rutherford designed experiment for these. In this experiment, fast-moving alpha particles were made to fall on a thin gold foil. He selected a gold foil because he wanted as thin as a layer possible. This gold foil was about 1,000 atoms thick. Alpha particles are doubly charged helium ions. Since they have mass of 4 units, we know 2 protons, okay, 2 protons plus 2 neutrons. So weight is going to be 4 units of it. The fast moving alpha particle have a considerable amount of energy. It was expected that alpha particle would be deflected by subatomic particles in gold atom. Since alpha particles were much heavier than the proton, he did not expect to see large deflection. Because alpha particles were considered heavier than the individual atom or individual particles. But alpha particle scattering experiment gave totally unexpected result. The following observations were made. First, most of the fast moving alpha particles passed straight through the gold foil. Some of the alpha particles were deflected by the foil by small angle. Surprisingly, 1 out of 12,000 was able to rebound. In the word of Rutherford, this result was almost as incredible as if you fire a 15-inch shell at a piece of tissue paper and it comes back and hits you. टिश्यू पेपर ઉપર તમે હેવી કોઈ લાર્જ તમારી પાસે હોય એવી કંઈક વસ્તુને તમે ફેંકો અને એ ભટકાઈને પાછી આવે. ટિશ્યુમાંથી તો પાસ જ થઈ જવી જોઈતી હતી બિકોઝ કોલ્ડ એટમ જે હતા એ બહુ થીક હતા. દેન આફ્ટર ધીસ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ સિચ્યુએશન હેપન્સ. સો he explained it like this. Let us think of activity in open field to understand the implication of this experiment. Let a child stand in front of a wall with his eyes closed. Let him throw stones at a wall from a distance. He will hear sound which when each stone strikes the wall. If he repeats 10 times, he will hear sound 10 times. But if the blindfolded child were to throw stone at a barbed wire fence, most of the stone would not hit fencing and no sound will be heard. This is because there is a lots of gap in fence which allow the stone to pass through them. So thing is that if you have this kind of brick wall, okay, like this brick wall, if you hit something over here, every time I hit you will hear a sound. But if I have something like this wired structure like this, okay, so what happens most of the time when I hit over here, I may pass through this net, so therefore there is no sound of sticking to something. Okay, so this was explained by Rutherford. This was understood by Rutherford by this experiment. Most of the space inside atom is empty because most of the alpha particle pass through the gold without getting deflecting. Very few particles are deflected from their path, indicating positive charge of an atom occupies very little space. A small fraction of alpha particle were deflected by 180 degree indicates that all positive charge and mass of the atom are concentrated in a very small volume within the atom. From the data, he concluded that the radius of nucleus is about 10 to the power 5 times less than the radius of atom. On the basis of this experiment, Rutherford put forward the nuclear model of an atom which had the following features. There is a positive charged center in the atom called nucleus. Nearly all the mass of atom resides in this nucleus. Electrons revolve around and nucleus in a circular path. The size of nucleus is very small as compared to the size of atom. So if I say these are the atoms, then size of nucleus is very small. So this is the central part where protons and neutrons stays. Electrons revolve around this proton. Most of the space is empty. This is the conclusion and this was a great achievement at that particular time. There are certain drawbacks also. The revolution of electron in circular orbit is not expected to be stable. Any particle in circular orbit will undergo acceleration. During acceleration, charged particle would radiate energy. Thus, revolving electron would lose energy and finally fall to the nucleus. If these were so, atom should be highly unstable and hence matter would not exist in the form that we know. We know that atoms are quite stable. So basically at that particular time protons were neutrons were not known. So what do we say? If there is a positive charge, another one is negative charge. If a particle is continuously moving, it will acquire energy. When it will get energy, it will fall into this particular nucleus, and that is why this particular structure was not able. Although rest all conclusion was correct, but just because neutrons were not known at that particular time, so this particular model was failed. So that's all for now. Thank you.